Singapore Airlines Limited is the flag carrier of Singapore with its hub at Singapore Changi Airport. It is regarded as a Singaporean national symbol and icon. The airline utilises the Singapore girl as its central figure in its corporate branding. The Singapore Airlines Group includes many airline-related subsidiaries. SIA Engineering Company handles maintenance, repair and overhaul business across 9 countries with a portfolio of 27 joint ventures, including with Boeing and Rolls-Royce. Singapore Airlines Cargo operates SIA's freighter fleet and manages the cargo hold capacity in SIA's passenger aircraft. It has 3 subsidiaries. Silk Air operates regional flights to secondary cities, while Scoot and Tiger Air operate as low-cost carriers. Singapore Airlines was the launch customer for the Airbus A380, the world's largest passenger aircraft. It ranks amongst the top 15 carriers worldwide in terms of revenue passenger kilometers, and is ranked 10th in the world for international passengers carried. On the 15th of December 2010, Singapore Airlines was named by the International Air Transport Association as the second largest airline in the world by market capitalization, worth $14 billion. History. Corporate affairs. Singapore Airlines is majority-owned by the Singapore Government Investment and Holding Company Temasek Holdings, which holds 56% of voting stock. The Singapore government, which holds a golden share via the Ministry of Finance, has regularly stressed its non-involvement in the management of the company, a point emphasized by Minister Mentor Lee Kuan Yew when he declared that the aviation hub status of Singapore Changi Airport will be defended, even at the cost of SIA. However, he was personally involved in diffusing tensions between the company and its pilots, warned the airline to cut costs, and made public his advice to the airline to divest from its subsidiary companies. Singapore Airlines is headquartered at Airline House by Changi Airport in the Changi area of Singapore. Branding and publicity efforts have revolved primarily around flight crew, in contrast to most other airlines, who tend to emphasize aircraft and services in general. In particular, the promotion of its female flight attendants known as Singapore Girls has been widely successful and is a common feature in most of the airlines' advertisements and publications. Although a successful marketing image for the airline, the Singapore Girl emphasis has been criticized as portraying women as subservient to males. The Singapore Airlines logo is a bird inspired by a silver kriss which comes from the keris, a dagger from Southeast Asia prominently featured in the region's myth and folklore. The keris is central in Singapore Airlines branding, such as the Silver Kriss Lounge and the Kriss World Entertainment System. The logo is featured on the tailfin and in the airline's collaterals, and has remained unchanged since Singapore Airlines' inception from the split of Malaysia Singapore Airlines. The logo type and stripes underwent a minor tweak in 1987. The livery had a recent change, which saw the Singapore Airlines logo type enlarged and moved towards the front and the bird logo on the tailfin enlarged, in a similar fashion to the livery variant used on the Airbus A380. However, the stripes and the bird remain the same. Destinations. Singapore Airlines flies to 62 destinations in 35 countries on 6 continents from its primary hub in Singapore. It has a strong presence in the Southeast Asian region, which together with its subsidiary Silk Air, connects Singapore with more international destinations in the region than any other Southeast Asian airline. The airline has a key role on the Kangaroo route. It flew 11.0% of all international traffic into and out of Australia in the month ended March 2008. SIA has taken advantage of liberal official bilateral aviation agreements between Singapore and Thailand, and with the United Arab Emirates, to offer more onward connections from Bangkok and Dubai respectively. AirAsia, a low-cost airline based in Malaysia, accused Singapore Airlines of double standards when it claimed that the government of Singapore has attempted to keep it out of the Singapore market. Although there has been no official word that Singapore Airlines has objected to the entry of AirAsia, Singapore Airlines has, instead, welcomed the liberation of the Singapore-Kuala Lumpur route, which it dominated together with Malaysia Airlines for over 3 decades, accounting for about 85% of the over 200 flight frequencies then operated. A highly lucrative route for LCCs due to its short distance and heavy traffic as the 4th busiest in Asia, bringing Singapore Airlines' capacity share on the route down to about 46.7%, Malaysia Airlines down to 25.3%, and increased to 17.3% to the 3 LCCs now permitted on the route, and the remainder shared by 3 other airlines as of the 22nd of September 2008. Singapore Airlines' capacity share will drop further from the 1st of December 2008, when the route is opened up completely to liberalization, when it announced plans to share its capacity with sister airline SilkAir. Malaysia Airlines, the main opponent to liberalization of the route and deemed to be the party which stands to lose the most, will continue to code-share with both Singapore Airlines and SilkAir on the route. On the 14th of October 2015, Singapore Airlines announced plans to resume the world's longest non-stop flight between Singapore and Newark, a 15,300 kilometers, 19-hour route that the airline had dropped in 2013. According to the airline, the route would be accommodated after the acquiring of new ultra-long-haul Airbus A350 aircraft in 2018. A340-500 aircraft were formerly employed to serve this route until the retirement in 2013. Codeshare agreements. Singapore Airlines codeshares with the following airlines. Fleet. Singapore Airlines currently operates an all-wide-body aircraft fleet from 4 aircraft families: Airbus A330, Airbus A350, Airbus A380 and Boeing 777, totaling 108 aircraft at the 31st of July 2016. In keeping with its policy of maintaining a new fleet, it renews its fleet frequently. In-flight services. Cabin. Singapore Airlines offers 5 classes of service: suite, first class, business class, premium economy class, and economy class. Major upgrades to its cabin and in-flight service were announced on the 17th of October 2006, constituting the first major overhaul in over 8 years and costing the airline approximately $570 million. Initially planned for the Airbus A380-800's introduction into service in 2006, and subsequently on the Boeing 777-300, the postponement of the first A380-800 delivery meant it had to be introduced with the launch of the first Boeing 777-300 with the airline on 5 December 2006 between Singapore and Paris. On the 9th of July 2013, Singapore Airlines, in collaboration with 2 design firms, James Park Associates and DesignWorks USA, unveiled the next generation of cabin products for first business and economy class, which will enter service on board new Boeing 777-300s and Airbus A350s. London was the first city served with the new product in September 2013. The product was later extended to all Boeing 777-300ERs. Singapore Airlines Suites. Singapore Airlines Suites is a class available only on the Airbus A380. The product was designed by French luxury yacht interior designer Jean-Jacques Coste and consists of separate compartments with walls and doors 1.5 meters high. The leather seat, upholstered by Poltrona Frau of Italy, is 35 in wide when armrests are down, and a 23-in LCD TV screen is mounted on the front wall. The 78-in bed is separate from the seat and folds out from the back wall, with several other components of the suite lowering to accommodate the mattress. Windows have built into the doors and blinds offer privacy. Suites located in the center can form a double bed after the privacy blinds between them are retracted into special compartments between the beds, and in the frame of the partition. First class introduced on the 9th of July 2013, the new first class is offered on refitted Boeing 777-300ERs. Features include a 24-inch in-flight entertainment screen with video touchscreen handsets, adjustable in-seat lighting and passenger control unit. Inside a fixed shell cabin with an 35-in wide seat, foldable into an 80-in bed. The other first class is offered only on Boeing 777-300 and unrefitted Boeing 777-300ER aircraft. Designed by James Park Associates, it features a 35-in wide seat upholstered with leather and mahogany and a 23-in LCD screen. The seats fold out into a flat bed and are arranged in a 1-2-1 configuration. Business class. Business class was formerly known as Raffles class until 2006. The latest version of the business class, the new business class, was unveiled on the 9th of July 2013 and is available on refitted Boeing B777-300ERs and the Airbus A350. Features include power socket and ports all in one panel, stowage beside the seat, 2 new seating positions and an 18-inch in-flight entertainment screen. The seat has a recline of 132 degrees and can be folded into a 78-in length bed. Long-haul business class is available on Airbus A380 and unrefitted Boeing 777-300ER, as well as all but one Boeing 777-200ER aircraft, where a fully flat bed is available in a 1-2-1 configuration featuring 30-in of seat width. These seats are forward-facing, in contrast to the herringbone configuration used by several other airlines offering flat beds in business class. The leather seats feature a 15.4-in diagonal screen-size personal television, in-seat power supply and 2 USB ports. The product was voted the world's best business class by Skytrax in 2011, on 8 Airbus A380 aircraft, the first of which entered service in October 2011. Singapore Airlines extended the business class cabin to run the entire length of the upper deck, compared to the original configuration which shares the upper deck between 16 rows of business class and 11 rows of economy at the rear. Medium and short-haul business class is available on all Airbus A330-300, Boeing 777-300 and all but 2 Boeing 777-200 aircraft, configured in 2-2-2 layout and with iPod connectivity, only available in the A330. The business class seat is lie flat at an 8-degree incline, featuring Crisworld on a 15.4-inch screen. Space bed seats have progressively phased out and is only available on one Boeing 777-200 aircraft in or 2-2 configuration. The space bed seats are 27 in wide and 72 in long and convert to an angled flat bed. They have a retractable 10.4 in personal television and are being phased out in favor of new business class seats. Traditional Ultimo business class seats, which do not convert into beds, are offered on two Boeing 777-200 aircraft in or 2-3 configuration with an 8.4-inch screen. Premium Economy Class. On the 9th of August 2015, Singapore Airlines introduced an all-new Premium Economy Class to be installed on its Airbus A380, B777-300ER and Airbus A350-900 aircraft. The product was first flown from Singapore to Sydney, Hong Kong and Auckland and has been progressively rolled out to other routes. Premium economy seats have 38-inch pitch at 18.5 to 19.5 inches wide with an 8-inch recline. They also feature a 13.3-inch high-definition touchscreen LCD monitor and a book-the-cook service. Economy Class. The latest redesign of the Economy Class seat was unveiled on the 9th of July 2013 alongside new First and Business Class products. Features include increased legroom, slimmer seats, an adjustable headrest, and an 11.1-inch touchscreen in-flight entertainment system which is also controllable with a video touchscreen handset as well as brand new Crisworld software. The new seats were originally announced to only be available exclusively on board factory-fresh Boeing 777-300 but following customer feedback, Singapore Airlines announced it would refit all older 777-300 aircraft with new cabin products as well. The previous generation economy class seats on unrefitted Boeing 777-300 Airbus A380-800 and Airbus A330-319 in wide, have in-seat power and have a 10.6-inch personal television screen which has a non-intrusive reading light under it, which can be used by folding the screen outwards. These are configured 3-4-3 on the lower deck of the Airbus A380, 3-3-3 on the Boeing 777, and 2-4-2 on the Airbus A330, as well as the upper deck of the Airbus A380. Other features include an independent cup holder, a USB port, and a power socket, as well as an iPod port exclusively on board the Airbus A330. Singapore Airlines introduced a similar design on board the Boeing 777 aircraft through their ongoing cabin retrofit program. The Boeing 777-300 was the first model to undergo refit and had introduced the product on the Singapore-Sydney route on the 22nd of July 2009. They are equipped with slightly smaller 9-inch screens and AVOD in each seat. The seats are installed on board all B777-200ers and B777-200s. Older economy class seats are available on two unrefitted Boeing 777-200s and one unrefitted Boeing 777-200. They have VGA 6.1-inch personal television screen screens with AVOD, footrests, adjustable headrests with side flap ears, and adjustable seat reclines. Baby bassinets are available at some bulkheads. These older economy class seats with the Wiseman 3000 system were introduced with the Boeing 777-200 in 1997, for use alongside the existing economy class seats with the non-AVOD Crisworld and the older generation early 1990s seats without Crisworld. The first few aircraft were delivered without AVOD. As of 2015, there are no more aircraft without AVOD. After the first Boeing 777-200 was delivered on 5 May 1997, this economy class seat was installed in all subsequent aircraft deliveries, as well as in refitted existing Boeing 747-400s in late 1997 and early 1998. Catering. Singapore Airlines offers a wide array of food options on each flight. Regional dishes are often served on the respective flights, such as the Kyokaiseki, Shikwan Shimei, and Shahi Thali meals available for first-class passengers on flights to Japan, China and India, respectively. SIA has also introduced a popular local fare culinary program offering local favorites to passengers in all classes flying from selected destinations. They published a cookbook in 2010 titled Above and Beyond, a collection of recipes from the Singapore Airlines culinary panel. Passengers in suites, first and business class may choose to use the Book the Cook service, where specific dishes may be selected in advance from a more extensive menu. Premium economy class passengers may also choose to use the Premium Economy Book the Cook. This service is only available on selected flights. Crisworld is Singapore Airlines in-flight entertainment system, introduced in 1997 on Boeing 747-400, Airbus A310-300, Airbus A340-300 and Boeing 777-200 aircraft. KrisFlyer overhauled Singapore Airlines in-flight experience with a new, cheaper entertainment solution that would supersede the very primitive Thales entertainment systems on offer at the time by Virgin Atlantic and the Emirates Google Doodle for its 5th anniversary. The original Crisworld introduced 14 movies, 36 television programs and 5 cartoons, as well as many Super Nintendo games, CrisFun and Fax, text news and flight path in all classes. The original Crisworld was subsequently upgraded to feature Wiseman 3000, an audio and video on-demand version of the Crisworld system featuring exclusively in first and Raffles class cabins, then progressively being introduced into economy class in 747 cabins and selected 777 cabins. In 2002, Singapore Airlines introduced a rebranding of the Crisworld system. Named Enhanced Crisworld, it featured additional movies, television programming, music and games, and was installed on Boeing 747-400 and selected Boeing 777-200 aircraft. Connection by Boeing, an in-flight internet service, was introduced in 2005. Live television streaming was proposed on Connection, but this service was discontinued in December 2006. From October 2005, Singapore Airlines began offering complimentary language lessons by Berlitz, and, starting December 2005, live text news feeds. In 2007, a new Crisworld based on Red Hat Enterprise Linux was introduced, featuring a new interface, additional programming and audio and video on demand as standard. Widescreen personal video systems lights were installed in all cabins, including 23-inch LCD monitors in first class, 15-inch monitors in business class, and 10.6-inch monitors in economy class. The new Chris World is available on Airbus A330, Airbus A380 and Boeing 777-300. Features include widescreen LCD TV with 1280 by 768 resolution, a range of movies, TV, music, games, and interactive programs, built-in office software, based on the StareOffice productivity suite for use with the USB port, in-seat AC power port. A $400 million brand-new Chris World entertainment system was unveiled in 2012. This comes from a major deal with Panasonic Avionics, who will provide the latest Panasonic X3 systems. The X3 system features larger screen with much higher resolution, wide touchscreen controllers, new software, and, above all, in-flight connectivity. Singapore Airlines launched their in-flight connectivity in August 2012. Passengers are now able to make phone calls, send text messages and access the internet for a fee. The new X3 systems are unveiled alongside the new cabin product, and is available on the Airbus A350-900 and refitted B777-300ER. In-flight connectivity is offered on the aforementioned two aircraft as well as select Airbus A380s. Frequent Flyer Program. Singapore Airlines Frequent Flyer Program, KrisFlyer, is divided into multiple tiers. KrisFlyer, the basic level at which one starts earning miles. KrisFlyer Elite Silver, the airline's rendition of Star Alliance's silver tier of passengers. KrisFlyer Elite Gold, the airline's rendition of Star Alliance's gold tier of passengers. Priority Passenger Service Club provides Star Alliance Gold privileges on Singapore Airlines and other Star Alliance members, as well as further privileges on Singapore Airlines. Incidents and accidents. The 26th of March 1991, Singapore Airlines Flight 117, an Airbus A310-300, was hijacked by Pakistani militants en route from Kuala Lumpur International Airport to Singapore Changi International Airport, where it was stormed by the Singapore Special Operations Force. All of the hijackers were killed in the operation, with no fatalities amongst the passengers and crew. The 31st of October 2000, Singapore Airlines Flight 006, a Boeing 747-400, attempted to take off on the wrong runway at Taiwan Taoyuan International Airport, previously Taiwan Chiang Kai-shek Airport, while departing for Los Angeles International Airport. It collided with the construction equipment that had been parked on a closed runway, killing 83 of the 179 on board and injuring a further 71 people. This was the first and only crash of a Singapore Airlines aircraft to involve passenger and/or crew fatalities. The doomed aircraft 9 volts SPK was painted in their tropical, promotional livery at the time of the accident. The only other aircraft painted with the promotional livery, another 747-400 registered 9 volts SPL, was immediately removed from service and repainted with standard Singapore Airlines livery. The 27th of June 2016, Singapore Airlines Flight 368, a Boeing 777-300 with 222 passengers and 19 crews on board, suffered an engine oil leak problem during a flight from Singapore to Milan. The oil leak alarm was sounded off when the plane was 2 hours into the flight above Malaysia. During the emergency landing back at where it departed from at Singapore Changi Airport, the right engine caught fire, leading to the right wing being engulfed in flames. The fire was extinguished within 15 minutes after the plane landed. No injuries were reported.